What's up, YouTube? Connor Garrity on the G-Money041 channel. Welcome back. New video right now, and I hate to say this, but this might be the last day of the beard. Sadly, this might be the last day of the beard. This is going to be a 5-part series that I am going to do on. You know, they used to have that T-Mobile My 5. This is going to be my 5 at every position in the NBA, meaning my top 5 point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers of all time. And this isn't about ability or the best ones ever. This is based upon my list of who are my favorite players at each of those positions that I like and that I care about. So again, this isn't a list about who's the best of all time. I'm not debating that. This list is of my favorite players and players that I loved to watch and whose highlights I still love to watch to this day. I love players that I love watching their highlight tapes. So, before we start, shout outs. Christian Carolus, shout out. Maxwell Darby, shout out. Zach Irons, shout out. Guy I have never shouted out before. Harrison Steckler, shout out to you, man. Haven't talked to you in a while. I gotta hit you up. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, brother. And basically, Laker Nation, Kings Nation, 76ers Nation, Sonics Nation, and Magic. Because those are the 5 teams of these 5 players. This is going to be the first segment. Point guards, my 5 favorite point guards of all time. Let's get into it. Again, this is no particular order. These are just my 5 favorite point guards that I've ever watched, and these are all from my era. There won't be a ton of old players on this list just because of the simple fact I never got to watch them in person, or I never got to watch them really on the TV play a live game. So because of that, certain players are left off of this list. There's one player who got left off of the point guard category. He is in another category, so do not worry. I made sure to get him on the list. And I actually am writing multiple lists. It's hard coming up with my favorite 5s, but let's get into it. Point guards, I was able to easily come up with my 5. First off the list, we got Derek Fisher, D-Fish, the captain, the man. What a man he is. He is not just a good basketball player. He is a great human being. I have met him before. Very nice guy. I met him at physical therapy. My mother has had a bad neck for a long time, and while she was recovering in physical therapy, Derek Fisher happened to be there. I was able to speak to him. I was 7 or 8 years old. He was so nice and so kind and just so warm-hearted. He was a very nice guy to me. Got to shake his hand and meet him. Very cool dude. You know, Utah fans want to give him shit for leaving. The guy left because his daughter was going to die. You know, there's a reason why he left Utah. I know you want team loyalty, but there's a point when, you know, I could be loyal to my team and let my daughter die, or I can leave the team, sign with a team where I can get her treatment, and she can live. I'm going to take the treatment, and I think 99.99999% of people will take the treatment. Derek Fisher, always been clutch, always been that guy. I wish the Lakers still had him on our team. I hope the Lakers retire his number when he ultimately retires. He's always been that guy that he will go down in Lakers lore as that guy that every Laker fan loved. Every Laker fan loves him. Second on this list, we got J-Will, baby. Paul Bessman. I know you like J-Will. I know you like J-Will, Paul. J-Will, Jason Williams, White Chocolate. For those of you who do not know Jason Williams, go search Jason Williams after this. Guy was a monster. Animal. He brought the street ball to the NBA court, won the NBA championship with the Heat, played also in Vancouver for the Grizzlies, but he was more famous on the Kings. when they had C-Web and Vladi, and they were running up and down the court, and he was throwing behind the back passes, throwing elbow passes. For those of you who don't want to know what I mean, he would literally throw it behind his back and hit it back with his elbow, throwing crazy bounce passes. Guy was an animal. Monster. Love J-Will. One of my favorite players, actually, of all time. He's probably in my top 5 players of all time as for my favorites. Next up, my number 1 favorite player of all time, AI, Allen Iverson. I could have put him in the shooting guard category and moved a certain guy into the point guard category, but I decided not to. AI is my favorite player of all time. I just bought the questions. Guy is Allen Iverson. For those of you who never got to see him play, was a warrior, to put it simply. I remember once they showed a graphic of him, of all the injuries he had that year, and he had like a broken toe, sprained ankle, bruised knees, hurt hip, bruised elbows, broken finger, and he's still playing. He had all these broken and sprains all over his body. Guy was still playing because, you know what? People want to say, and people remember the practice quotes and do not remember how hard he worked. If he's going to work that hard on the court, I don't care if he goes to practice. Because you know what? That man sacrificed every game. Guy was he's listed at 6 feet. I don't think anyone believed he was ever 6 feet. He was maybe 5'10", 5'11", maybe on a good day 5'11", maybe in shoes 5'11". He was more like 5'10", 5'9". Guy was going against giants. I remember his rookie season, the famous clip of him breaking down Michael Jordan, had the greatest crossover of all time. AI. That's all you need to say. The answer, baby. Just, you can't beat him. You can't beat him. He is the man. Next up, Gary Payton. Love Gary Payton. Seattle Supersonics. That was the team back in the day. I cannot wait till Seattle gets a new team. They bring out the Sonics jerseys. I really want a Sean Kemp jersey, and I really want an AI jersey. I really want both of those. I really need to get those in my collection because I love it. Those are 2 of my favorite players of all time. Again, Gary was just that guy who was. Gary Payton's just awesome. I love the fact that he talks trash. I love the fact that he shit talks. I know this episode's a little bit long. I'm trying to wrap this up. One of the greatest defensive players, arguably the greatest defensive guard of all time, 6'4", from OSU. Shout out to G-Lowe from Go Beavs. Go Beavers. But Gary Payton, monster, not super athletic. One of my favorite clips of him is actually getting broken down by J-Will, and he's like, oh my God. And he tried to trip J-Will because he got broken down so bad. But no, that was crazy. Gary Payton, just a man. And last but not least, Penny Hardaway. 6'7" point guard, monster from Memphis. Of course, he's got all the shoes, the foam posits, all those crazy shoes. Penny 5s, love his shoe lines, very athletic. Very sad story about Penny Hardaway. The fact that, he was such a great player, started getting injured, was never able to recover from his injuries. Very sad story. Guy was a monster when he was on the Magic with Shaq. Shaq will be making an appearance on this list. I guarantee you that, and I think everybody knows that. Penny, miss him. Shoe game monster, and just overall, again, guy was 6'7" at point guard. Super athletic, could dunk over anybody. Just a man. So that's going to be it for this video. Comment with your 5 favorite point guards. Comment with your thoughts on this list of my favorite point guards, what you think. If anybody should be in this list. And there is a certain player, again, who did not make the point guards. He will be in the small forward category, just saying. I think many of you will know who that is. But let me just go back over the list. We have Derek Fisher, Jason Williams, AI, Gary Payton, and Penny Hardaway. That's going to be it for this video. Again, shoutouts, Zach Irons, Jeff Lowe, Paul Bessman, Harrison Steckler. I know I'm forgetting somebody right now. I know I am. And that's going to piss me off. Shout out to Jordan Zapata, too. Just shout out to you, homie. Maxwell Darby, shout out to you, man, because you're the NBA guy. So hopefully you see this and comment with your opinion on it. That's going to be it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good business. Thank you for watching. This is Connor Garrity at the GMoney041 channel. I can't believe I'm still doing that. It's horrible. I'm sorry. I apologize now. But remember, the is part of the name like the Ohio State University, but unlike them, I do not suck. Again, thank you for watching. And with that, I got to hit you with a peace.